Welcome to the All Metal Mode podcast with your host, Michael Haer. Tune in every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern with co-host Gypsy Jules, and every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern with Matt Hoffman as we talk to guests, discuss metal detectors, equipment, and everything treasure related. Feel free to join in the discussion in the chat room during the show, and please, if you like what you hear, we'd appreciate you taking a moment, hit that like button, and share the link with your friends. We hope you enjoy the show. The All Metal Mode podcast starts right now.
Hello everybody, this is Mike Haer and you're listening to the All Metal Mode podcast. Matt will not be joining us tonight. I believe I talked to him earlier, and if I remember right, he sprained his vagina, I think, is what happened. And so he is out with a broken vagina, and he will not be joining us tonight. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook at All Metal Mode, as well as All Metal Mode Podcast UK. All Metal Mode is every Monday and Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and All Metal Mode UK is every Thursday at 8 p.m. GMT or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please tell your friends about the show. Anybody you know that metal detects, you can listen to the show from Spreaker. Boy, I'm going to struggle tonight. From Spreaker. You can also download it from Spreaker. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube. Plenty of ways to listen to us. If you are listening live, you can the rectangle box that has the pause button on it. If you click on that, there's a chat bubble, and you can come into chat and talk with us. You do have to sign up. You can do it through Facebook, and it takes seconds. It's not hard to do. Dirt Digest magazine, the September issue is out. It's a free online magazine. Check us out at dirtdigestmagazine.com. Always looking for articles and finds. You know, if you found something cool, submit it. If you go to the website, there's the treasure room, and you can go in there and you can submit your finds, and we'll get them published in the magazine. Yeah. Always looking for articles as well. If you got a good story or something you want to share, let us know. We're always looking for articles. Don't forget, if you're a regular listener, I'll just touch on this. Dirty Letters, All Metal Mode Facebook group. It's Dirty Letters - All Metal Mode. We had a conversation in here a few weeks ago, and Amanda and Katie Yeary, one of our listeners, both write letters, and so no dirty letters. I know it's in the title, but it's more because we're diggers. But yeah, if you want to write letters to each other, I got one from Amanda that was really cool. I don't know if I told Gypsy about that yet, and but a really cool letter, and it's been years since I've wrote a letter, and it was so cool to get one, and I'm looking forward to writing some other people. But yeah, you can join that if you want to. Good times. For now, it's myself and Gypsy right now. Amanda's got some stuff going on tonight. She might be joining us here in a little bit. She just, things are a little hectic, but, hey Gypsy, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Did that sound creepy? That felt creepy after I said it, like a stalker or something. Like, hey, Gypsy. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
He didn't sound it. That's funny. No, I'm doing good. Doing real good. Try not to get sick. All this stuff going on, and my throat. I don't know, sinus stuff. So, anyway.
I've been pretty good. I haven't been sick in a long time. I hear everybody's getting it, though, but glad it's not me. So, I believe that I will be going to Ohio mid-October. Boy, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, I need a break from this. Texas is tough, and metal detecting's no different. It's tough metal detecting here too.
Yeah.
Everything wants to kill you and eat you, and jeez. Even
those
the
field
ants,
sign. Those fields sound like, yeah, the ants are terrible.
Yeah, them fire ants. I don't know if any of you never seen a fire ant. You about need a microscope to see one. They're so tiny, but you know when one's bit you because it hurts like you wouldn't believe. Well, at first and then it hurts, and then it gets real bad, and it looks like you get a big blister, and if you break it open, you'll get scars. My feet are all scarred up because, like they say not to break them open, but if they hurt so much, and I didn't know that at first, and I would like break them open, and they felt better. Like it instantly felt better, and they healed really good and stuff. So I just was breaking. Well, I got not scabs. I got scars all over my feet from it.
Yeah,
things are mean.
They are mean. And have you ever, you're detecting along, and then all of a sudden you get a signal, and it's right smack dab in the middle of like an ant bed?
Yeah,
that happened to me.
Yeah, the first time it happened, I just noped out because I'd already had my feet were already messed up from bites. So I'm like, nope. That signal can stay. No deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Katie said she thought worms were bad. She said
fire ants are horrible, Katie.
Oh,
they're miserable.
They are. I'd
And
take
snakes.
an earthworm any day. I just feel sorry for some of the earthworms sometimes.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
Yeah. Something I don't miss digging up, and I don't think I've dug one here in Texas, is in Ohio you get those big nasty grubs.
Oh, yeah. We get those too.
I haven't gotten one that I recall. Maybe one or two, but yeah, nasty. Yeah. I wanted to say real quick something I forgot. So tomorrow night, the next 2 weeks, Dorian will be out, and he's got some things going on. So Matt's going to join me tomorrow night. Even with his broken vagina, he's going to come on the show, and he's going to ice it up tonight. And
are you sure he's going to want to come on with you?
Probably not. Probably
not.
He's
going to listen to this and go, I'm not coming on there with you anymore.
It's a little early, but I think him and I will smack talk each other since I'll be heading to Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's still, like 3 weeks out, but I don't think it's ever too early to smack talk, and so, we'll get a little competition going and all kinds of things. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. Katie said, I haven't gotten a grub yet, like a potato bug. I don't know. They're huge. They're white.
They're white with a little orangey brown looking head. And they're just gross looking. And I'd take an earthworm over a grub. They're just gross.
Bill Marsh said big fat grubs, Katie, about the size of your thumb and really, really juicy. True story. I try not to kill them, but sometimes you just get that in worms.
Accidentally, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I believe if you kill something, you should eat it. So if you kill a grub or a worm, you're supposed to eat it. It's only right.
I remember reading that book when you were in school. I remember reading fried worms or something like that. How to eat worms. I don't even remember what it's called. But that just grossed me out.
Gross. I was going to go somewhere, but it's not appropriate. I already sounded like a creeper. I already sounded like a creeper when I introduced you. Or how you doing, Gypsy? Oh, geez. So tonight you want to talk about buckles and buttons. I got to tell you all that I was just going to get the show going, and I am not prepared because Amanda ditched us. She's like, "Oh, Mike's going to be on here. I can't be on here with him." And so she booked. She's like, I don't want to deal with Mike. No, she's got things going on. Hopefully she'll be calling in later. Katie said keeping it G-rated. That's really hard for me to do. It really is. If you knew what was going on in my mind, you would know.
Yeah, you just have to rein. Yeah, sometimes you just have to rein Mike in because he.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad in my head. I'll be honest. Like every time we do like a G-rated show, I'm just like, wow, I'm so proud of myself, you know? Because I mean, like even it doesn't matter who I'm with. It could be you, Matt, Dorian. Something will get said, and in my head, I'm going, ooh, 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 ooh. I got something for that. You know. But it's like I can't do it on the show. Yeah. Jeff. Matt's got the butt flu and a sprained vagina, I do believe. That's why he's out tonight. He's gurnised his vagina and his butt, and hopefully he'll be on tomorrow night with me. I hope Matt's listening right now.
Oh, boy.
Good times. So let's get talking about. Well, it's already past G. We're definitely into our territory, so I guess I can't be proud of myself tonight. So right. Yep. I'm just turning it over to you. I'm going to go ahead and nap.
Okay.
I'm going to take a little nap.
You go take a nap.
No, I'm here. Go ahead.
All right.
I do want you to kick it off, though. Yeah, there you go.
So tonight, Amanda and I were going to discuss buttons and buckles and a few other things if we had time. And where we were kind of wanting to go with this was, when you're out detecting, you detect all kinds of buttons. It's just part of what we do. Some are, relics. Relics are buttons. That's part of what we dig all the time. And I wouldn't say I dig a button every time I go out, but a lot of the times I dig no matter where I'm at. Anything from modern buttons to old buttons to military buttons, stuff like that. And a lot of it, does depend on, what region you live in, where you're metal detecting. If you're detecting, colonial type eras, or if you're detecting like poor Mike and I over here in Texas, and right. There's not much over 1840s to the present. So
are you getting 1840s buttons?
No. I'm just saying that's when a lot of the towns, the older Texas towns, were founded. Were, I would say, the older ones. Then the rest of it just moves up into the early 1900s. I
haven't even found a flat button here.
I found one, and it was actually turned out to be a large dandy button, and that's the only one I've ever found here.
That's a good one to find, though.
Yeah, it was really, it took me a minute. In fact, it's in one of my videos, I think, from last year. I found it just last year. And for me, I was just kind of in shock. I was like, is this a flat button, And I'm looking at the shank. I'm looking at how big it is and, the thickness of it, et cetera, et cetera. And then, kind of that just figured out, what I had, without, research. But anyway, long story short, that's been the only one I've ever found here.
That's a good one to find
in Texas. Yeah, it was a really nice, pleasant surprise. So, as for most of the buttons that I do find, are usually like a two-piece button. Some civilian, some, military, a lot of World War II, World War I, those types. I've only found a few Civil War eagle buttons. A lot of civilian, with the floral type designs, that type that I like to find because it's, more of the fancy, I guess.
Yeah.
They would have worn, the later early, the 1900s, the early 1900s, I guess is what I'm trying to say, from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. Anyway, so I just wanted to open it up for discussion. If there's some of you, I know some of you probably have button books that you use for identifying. Some of you probably have other methods like charts. I know there's printable charts sometimes that you can find to print off of the net. There's forums, you can go to for identification. For me, I usually use the internet when I'm trying to research a button. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, usually, it's been a long time since I found a button I couldn't identify, but I've usually gone to the internet somehow, or Facebook, and like ID me or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
George just posted in All Metal Mode, I think in the last week, a really good, Albert's button book.
Albert's, yes,
one.
I've heard a lot about that book. I guess I need to make note of that because I couldn't remember it. I'm going to write that down because I might like to purchase that if it's still around.
I've always been too much of a how can I say this and still keep it? I mean, we've already gotten R tonight. Yeah, I'm just tight on my money, I guess, and that's like, somebody's got the book and they'll respond,
right?
Which is
they can look it up for me, exactly. No, I mean, I'm a lot to say. I haven't invested in a button book yet. I just usually go straight to the internet. I've found a few websites that have really worked for me. One is just called Relic Man. I don't know if you've ever checked out that website. He's got some great infos on the back marks. Yeah, and
hold on real quick because they're going pretty good here.
Okay.
Scott Treckler said, "ID me." I think I'm sure he's talking about the Facebook group. That's okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We won't go there. Keith Wills sells books from coins, buttons, bullets, etc. Yep.
True.
George said Harry Ridgway online. I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about there. Is it his website? Is it a website?
I think it's a website.
Okay.
I think so. Another one besides the Relic Man.
Oh, that's Relic Man. Harry Ridgway is the Relic
is the
Man.
Same, yeah. Okay, yeah. He has some of the best information. His website has helped me out a lot in the past to help me identify buttons and the back marks and age it, be able to find out, what period, where it was minted or however you want to call it.
Yeah, I've been to his website quite a bit. I wasn't familiar with the name of it, but yeah, I've been there quite a bit. A lot of great information. Another
one is oldcopper.org. That's a really good one. And I can't remember if he's the one that has these really neat drawn out. There's one of these websites that has really neat drawn out things that you can just print out that shows like the different shapes, like if it's concave, the way the shank looks, etc. Just all kinds of little tips to look for. That is really neat. Another one was Inks. Let's see, it's called inkspot.antiques.com. That was a really good one. And then I think one other one was howard.anham.tripod.com. But when you Google it, I mean, it'll be one of the ones that come up. But those were some of the ones that, I still have to say that one of my I have one button, and I really haven't tried to look for it in a while, that I have not been able to identify. I found it in West Texas a couple of years ago, not far from where I went this year to, actually it's been more than a couple of years. It's probably been about 7 or 8 years, come to think of it. But I'll get some photos of it and maybe post it and see if I can identify it, because I have not yet been able to identify this, but it's not all that terribly far from some Civil War forts, camps, etc. But it is not Civil War. It could be pre-Civil War.
Cool.
But it has an eagle on it. It is. What's interesting, it's still got a lot of gold gilding on it. But it's smaller, like almost cuff size, but it's weird. I can't even describe it. I would almost have to go find it in one of my cases and show you. The shank is broke off of it, but the interesting thing is it has underneath where the shank was almost like a white shell or enamel. I would say shell, possibly. So I'm just really not sure what it is. But it does have an eagle on it, and I can't remember what else. It could be a snake in the other hand, but
you need to get a picture of that for us.
I will. I'll get a picture. I can't even just trying to describe it from memory, but it's been a while since I've looked at it and tried to research it again. There is no, what?
I'm sorry. I was looking for the link that George put up on buttons real quick, and I come across it. George posted a video on the Treasure Baron, a really cool video, and Matt said, "Could you make a second video showing the separation in heavy iron?" And George Kinsey said, "Nope." He said those two. He's mean to Matt. I love it. I'll be honest with you. He's a little bit mean to Matt. George said, "Nope. I'm sorry. I was looking for his link to the button thing he posted, and I just seen that and it made me laugh." I wanted to say too, since I messed y'all up, took you off your game. George said Bill McQuinn Backmark book. I bet that's a good one. I can't say I've ever heard of that one.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that one either.
Be a good one to look up.
That sounds really good.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for this link because this link that George did was pretty darn good. Go ahead, I'm sorry, I messed you up.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so I'll get some photos of that and I'll post it in all metal mode and let y'all take a look at it. George said it could possibly be Mexican, which is very possible. Very very possible.
When you said the snake and stuff, that was my first thought, but I would have to
I
see.
think it's got a snake, but you know, I've found a lot of buttons over the years. So
Maybe you're
I'll have
mixing
to
them
just
up.
double check. I could be mixing it up, but anyway. But yeah, so
George,
military.
we should try to get George in here. George is a button guy.
I think so too. I know he's found so many buttons.
I've
The
never
reason
found buttons like him. I mean, I have, probably pounds of, flat buttons and tombacks and stuff, and a few fancy ones, and I have one. No, I got a few eagle buttons, but not too many, and not like George. George has some amazing, amazing stuff. Oh, Navy buttons. ColchesterTreasureHunting.com. Navy buttons, and there was some really good information there and some great pictures. But that's ColchesterTreasureHunting.co.uk. My bad. My bad. But yeah, that's a great resource too.
I'll have to check that out too.
George said nope. I'm guessing that's about calling in and talking buttons. Oh,
okay.
He's cracking me up.
But yeah, kind of what gave me the idea for tonight's show with the buttons, buckles, and stuff is because Amanda and I have been talking a lot lately. We've been texting back and forth, trying to plan our trip to New York when I go up there. And anyway, she hunted, I think it's been a year or so ago. I hope it's okay for me to talk about this, but a button dump. And so she texted me some photos of some of the buttons she found. And she even found some gold cufflinks in there as well.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Did you see those?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But, yeah, so I told her, man, that's bad, because the next night I was dreaming about buttons, digging buttons. So I was like, we need to do a podcast on buttons. I love finding buttons, and I just think it just tells so much about a certain time period when you find the buttons, and especially with the back marks and what was going on at that time, if it was a war time or if it was a time where just even like with the civilian buttons, of how fancy some of them gotten, or the police buttons. That's another thing that I would love to find. I've never found like an old police button, or now I think I've found some of the old railroad buttons before that they would wear on their uniforms, but that's been about it. But no police buttons.
I don't know. I love buttons. There's something so cool about them, and again, most of mine, the majority, you'll find a lot of flat buttons and stuff, but when you get one with the design, when you get even the flat buttons, I like, you can research them and figure out how old they are roughly when they were being produced and all that. So I'm sorry,
exactly,
I was sneezing. I had to mute.
Oh, okay. Mute
I
it.
apologize
Okay.
to everybody. But yeah, when you find one with the design and military and stuff like that, they're pretty rare.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I haven't found an old button here in Texas, but in Ohio, like I said, I probably have pounds of flat buttons. But you get that weird one now and then, and they just, I don't know, they're more personal. Somebody used that. It was on them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I'm surprised sometimes of how the different type of soil that you're digging it in digging in. Some are more preserved than others, and some may pop out with still a lot of the gold gilding on it, just like this one that I have. And then some may pop out, just green and, all kinds of corrosion.
Mm-hmm.
But something that I would love to find is, of course, George Washington
Right.
button. I mean, gosh, I think
that's
it's on everybody's bucket list.
George has found some of the most amazing buttons ever, and that's still on his list to find. He has yet to find a George Washington button, but not a big deal when you found the buttons he's found. You know what I mean? That guy has a heck of a collection of buttons he's found over the years. Okay, here's going to come some more sneezing, probably, I think. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. How'd George is saying they text Kinsey. How'd you get that name? Oh, digging Texas buttons.
You got it, digging Texas.
How funny is that? Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, Texas buttons, I'm assuming, would have been Civil War with the star. I'm just assuming.
But
and I've only found one of those. I have one.
Lucky you. Like, guess how many I have? None. None. That's how many.
Someday, you never know. You never know. So, when I was in East Texas this last time, remember when we were visiting Keith, and we met up with his tech guy. I think his name is John.
Oh, I wasn't there.
I can't remember his last name. You weren't there. That was the next day after. My dad and I went out and hunted part of that area where you and I had went that night before, but it just started to get dark, and I got that one button. You remember that one button I got? I've got photos of it. I should get some real close-ups of it. It's got a really neat Chinese design on it. But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, Civil War buttons. So the next time I came up, Keith's tech guy told me about a guy in Jefferson that has a little museum there, and his name is Bob. I can't remember his last name right now, but I'm doing good to remember his first name. But in Jefferson, he has this museum and talk about buttons. Oh my gosh. Buttons and buckles, Civil War guns, you name it. He's got it in there in his little museum, and a lot of it he's found. Some of it have been people, I guess, in the area. But Jefferson is one of those Texas towns where there is so much history and so much probably still buried under those old brick roads there. When they tear up those old brick roads, I cannot totally imagine, wouldn't you want to be one that hit, the first to detect that? So,
right.
But he had a lot of Texas buttons with the stars and a few different kinds, a little different from the type that I had found. So I was just like drooling, with all the Civil War artifacts in there. It was just amazing. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. If any of you are ever in Jefferson, I think it's called Dixie. Oh gosh, Dixie line. Anyway, you can look it up. Jefferson, Texas, Dixie line something, and it's a little museum there. Let's see. Aggie, she found an eagle. Oh, in a park in Ohio.
Yeah, she's in Ohio.
Oh, cool. I didn't know Ohio. Man.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That is cool.
I can't wait to get back to
I bet
Ohio.
you can't wait to get back.
No,
You're going to be finding some more buttons.
Yeah, kicking Matt's butt. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm already going to, since he's not on.
Are y'all going to get to hunt together?
Oh, I'm sure
Hopefully.
we'll get together once, maybe. I don't know if I invite him on a hunt. Maybe that's what I should do, invite him down and then not be any, then when he gets there, I've disappeared and don't answer my phone. Hard to beat me metal detecting if you can't find me, huh? Serves him right for not listening in tonight. Yeah. That's my plan, Matt, if you're listening. Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I've been doing my research and getting some stuff lined up, and yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited.
Man.
Jim Bexley's in chat. He's from the UK. Nice to see you, Jim. I haven't seen you around in a long time. Very cool. Yeah,
Is that
I don't know.
That's he's
all
got as his little icon there?
Don't tell Steph, but yeah, that's all that's been on my mind is going back and seeing family and metal detecting. So I've kind of been in a little cloud lately. And then I'm trying to figure out which detectors I'm taking. I got to go light, but I really want to take them all, but I can't. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to
That's what you bought that new one for. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You need at least 3. Minimum of 3.
Yeah, and then there's coils, and I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what I'm taking. That's been what's been in my mind the most. Like, what am I taking back to Ohio? That's been trying to figure that out. For sure. Yeah, that's been what's perplexing me lately.
Very cool.
I don't know what'll make the cut. But, yeah, I should be finding a lot of flat buttons here next month. Wayne said AT Max is all you need. I don't even have an AT Max. I don't have a...
Sorry.
Oh, and then on top of it...
borrow mine right now.
Then on top of it, I've got an AT Pro I got to take back because my friend's buying it.
Oh, yeah. Is he from Ohio? Your friend that's buying it?
Yeah, and Jeff Urey said ship them to me ahead of time. I will get them to you. I know I would get them because Katie would get them for me. She'd kick your butt, Jeff. I know she would. She'd take care of me. Scott said the Amphibio and coils. The Amphibio is definitely a contender, but I've had some issues in the fields with it in iron, and I'm not sure that for what I'm going to mostly be doing, I don't know that it's my best choice for that. But it might end up going back. I love my I love my Amphibio, but I was having some issues last time. I think what I'm taking is one of my Tesoros with a couple coils. I've completely sidetracked the show here. I think I'm going to take the Outlaw with the 8-inch and 5-inch coil. I think I'm going to take the Rudis, and I've got the 11-inch coil. I've got like a 6x8 and like a 5-inch coil for it. I'm pretty sure that's what's going. And then I'm going to take another one that's a secret I can't tell anybody about. It'll be
so you know what you're going to need is a caddy out in the field to carry all your machines.
Yeah. Well, I'm only going to be using, I need 2 at a time, but...
Yeah, but it's kind of cool. You could, if you had a way to haul all those out in the fields and then...
What I really need...
Test different ones.
What I really need, what my biggest concern once I get over which detectors I'm taking is how to tether Randy to me. And there needs to be a harness system for a kid where we're like a little choo-choo train and he's behind me tethered, but I could see him chewing through something. And then I could see CPS getting called. That's the last thing I need to have Randy tethered to me and a cop pulls up and, Randy's growling at him and chewing through his strap. I don't know. Maybe Papoose. But see, he doesn't do good being still, so I need to be able to where he can walk. Maybe like I need a 4-wheel drive stroller and then lock the brakes and stuff and then tie him off of that. Put a leash on him around that. Do you think that would get CPS called on me? I mean, I'd put him a bowl of food and water down. I'm just kidding there. Oh my God. For the women listening in horror, I'm just kidding.
So you need to buy him one of those miniature cars, those little bitty kid cars, but you need to soup it up.
Put some big mutters on it.
Yeah. And let him drive around in circles.
See, but I know my boy, and all he would do is run me down.
Just run you down? Yep.
I wouldn't be able to detect.
About right.
He wouldn't be happy until my ankles were bloody and my metal detector was broke. I'm telling you. That kid's I love him, and thank God he's cute because he's a little demon.
Well, I will tell you this. I tried taking my oldest son, which is now 21, when he was a baby, when I lived in Galveston, out to the beach metal detecting with me in the stroller, and it didn't work. It was awful. Number one, it's, you could push him along a little and step away from the stroller and kind of let him sit there and, swing the detector, but then you had to take another step, push it again, but try to push a stroller in sand on the beach. It's impossible. You can kind of push them in the wet sand, but it's just, yeah.
We had a stroller with great big wheels, but we sold it because it took up so much space. It wouldn't even fit in her trunk.
Yeah.
And we got a smaller one, and that thing wouldn't go through. I need like a 4-wheel. I need to make a 4-wheel drive stroller with like a tray, like I could put him upright and put some toys.
They probably make one, but it's probably super, super expensive. We couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Maybe I can rig something up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, Steph will murder me too. I hope she's not listening, or I'll be in all kinds of trouble.
She probably is.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious when I said I'd put him down a bowl of food and water like a puppy dog. Nobody even said anything about that, and I thought that was hilarious. He does growl. He growls a lot. He's not talking yet. He's like, we think he's just being stubborn, but I told Steph, I said, I think what it is, he's got a growl for every occasion. So, why do I need to talk? He's got a cute little growl. He's got a mean growl. He's got a funny growl. He just says, oh, I'm in trouble. They are listening in. No. I'm not going to take him out in the cold into a muddy field metal detecting. Unless you say it's okay, then maybe. Then maybe. If you think it's okay, but only if you thought it was okay, baby. I wouldn't. See, sometimes she doesn't listen, and other times she does, so I get in trouble. I don't know. I wonder if I can ban her. Is there a way to ban anybody from listening? I bet not.
To block them? I doubt it. I don't know.
Right. Okay, so I got us so far off of buttons and buckles. Yeah, I might be in a doghouse. I'm pretty used to being in a doghouse when you're me. when you're this special and amazing.
Special.
You spend a lot of time in a doghouse. It's okay.
I love it. It's okay.
Yeah. Look at Jeff jumping on. He talks like that all the time. Look at him throwing me under the bus. Oh man. Thanks, Jeff. Ever been neutered? No. Not yet.
That's funny.
Oh, she said, I'm sure I could just set up an anonymous account if you try. I guess that's true.
She
Silly
could.
me. I can't block her
Oh,
IP
love
because
it.
we share the same IP. So that's no
No.
good. I guess I just got to stop talking crap, huh? Jeff said, returning the favor, Mike. Yeah, I've thrown him under the bus 52 times with Katie. I guess I had that coming. I guess I'll take it. But yeah, no, we're really looking forward to going back. But I don't know. I mean, all joking aside, I would like to take him out metal detecting to run. I think he'd have, like
Yeah.
a bean field that's flat. I think he would have so much fun.
Yeah.
Gypsy, do you think his mom's buying into that? Do you think Steph's buying into that?
Maybe.
I think he'd have a lot of fun. George said, I'll ship you 50 detectors. I'm not sure what he's saying. Oh, yeah, I'm already in trouble. I got so many detectors. Steph's like, oh, my goodness, do we need another detector? Do we really need another detector laying around here? They're everywhere. Steph said she'll burn them. No, she won't, George. I promise she won't. She will not burn them. Oh, goodness. Yeah, she gets a little
George
bit upset with. She's got.
His wife will love him then if he does that.
Yeah, and my wife will hate me, so yeah. When you go in the closet, like our walk-in closet is just, there's detectors hanging everywhere on shelf, hanging over your head, falling on your head, coils. It's a mess. And then there's, they've overspilled out of the closet, and it's yeah. And that's another thing I was contemplating. Jeff, no, don't say that. I was thinking about taking a couple back that I could leave. My nephew is really, you can't walk in our walk-in closet anymore. That's true. You kind of got to lean in and pull your clothes off the hanger. It's kind of a hot mess. But, my nephew is, I think he's 10 now or maybe 11, somewhere in there, and he really likes history. So I'm thinking I'll leave one with him. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But no, we don't need Steph on the podcast. She'll just, see, baby, look, Bill had 122 detectors at one time. I'm nowhere near that, so don't even. Yeah. Yeah, Steph on the podcast might be all bad. Look, I feel like I'm a pretty tough guy and, I can do whatever, but, Steph kind of keeps me in my place, and the last thing I need is her on the show making fun of me and putting me in my place. I'm like the kid, on the playground that's super cool until his mom shows up and puts him in his place. I don't need Steph on the podcast doing all that. Are you there, Gypsy?
I'm listening.
Let's get back on topic here before I get in more trouble. Let's just
You're just digging yourself a hole.
Yeah, I'm good at that, though. They say if you find something you're good at, keep doing it.
Just dig a hole, fall in it, and then she'll cover it up for you. And then some years later, somebody will find you by your buttons or your
right.
buckles.
Oh, she threatens to murder me all the time. And here, let me tell you this messed up story.
Uh-oh.
So, her and my mom are really close. Like me and my mom are really close, very close. But Steph comes into the picture, and her and mom are closer. And so she throws it in my face all the time, like she'll murder me. And she's like, and I bet your mom will help me bury your body. See the kind of abuse I got to deal with? I lost my mommy to to Steph, and then I get that thrown in. But it's not all the time. Maybe like just 5 times a day. Yeah. Yeah, she likes to throw that in my face. Like anytime I step out of the line, which is about 5 times a day, that she will murder me. I'm okay if she comes on the podcast, but she's coming on Monday night with you and Amanda. I'm all about it then. You two can talk to her.
Okay.
I'll watch the kids. You two talk to her. She's only been with me a handful of times, but, so she doesn't have a lot of experience, but she can tell you how she kicks my butt every time we go out, which is just, I could just call it beginner's luck. Well, part of it is she makes me carry the shovel. She makes me dig her holes.
Excuses, excuses.
Yeah. Excuses. George said, did she buy a wood chipper? Mine did. No, we don't have a wood chipper. No, but she's got guns.
Got to get rid of the body some way.
She's got guns and a pink bow. So
and the matches.
Yeah, she's just a little thing. You've met her. You know she's short and man, that girl's tough. She scares me. Yeah, if I ever come up missing, she's the one to turn to. I mean, I want you all to tell the police that Steph probably did something to me. Nah, I told her if she gets tired of me, just sneak up behind me and put a bullet in the back of my head. Just make it quick. Don't cut me. You know, I don't want to be cut up and bleeding everywhere and slowly die. Just come up behind me with a gun and end it. Yeah. Just make it quick. It's okay. Yeah, Wayne said if I come up missing, keep this show. So if I come up missing, yeah. There you go, baby. We got proof now. If I come up missing, they're gonna look at you. That's all right. My mom will help her dispose of my body. They'll never find it. It's okay. Gypsy, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I completely derailed the show.
No, it's okay. It's fun.
We haven't even got to Buckles or anything.
It's just hard with the little one that age. It was hard for me detecting when my kids were that age. So I know what you're going through. It's just really tough. So I hope hopefully your mom will be able to babysit some or some relative while you're there so you can get out and find some buttons and some coins and some buckles.
I'm hoping. Everybody works and's busy, but I don't know. I mean, really, this trip, this trip isn't about that anyhow, but I do want to get out some, obviously.
Yeah.
But hopefully some. I'm sure I will a little bit, but
yeah. I
don't know. I would love to find a way. Randy just loves to run and play, and I don't know. He'd probably eat dirt, though. I could see him picking up dirt and eating it.
He'd help you dig it, and then he'd say, "Oh, that looks like it tastes good."
And he puts everything in his mouth.
In his mouth, yeah.
Everything.
My youngest one was that way too. Yeah.
I could see looking back, and he's got a piece of broken glass from the field in his mouth or something. You know, that's my fear. That boy's something else. I literally dropped I was cleaning today, and I literally dropped the toaster. He come walking into the kitchen with a cap in his mouth. His sister was watching him and obviously not watching him real well. Well, that's my biggest fear is him choking on something. So I'm really careful. Well, he'd went into the bathroom earlier and sister didn't put her lid back on her toothpaste. Well, I didn't know any of this. She got him out of the bathroom and he was in the living room and stuff, and he come in the kitchen. I just happened to look at him and he's got the cap sticking out of his mouth, and then as soon as I seen it, he sucked it in. So I dropped the toaster, grabbed him by the back of the head, and shoved my finger in and pulled it out. But yeah, that boy, he's just like, "Hey, Dad, look what I got!" And I swear he sucked it in his mouth to scare me. You know, I swear he did. Look at this, Dad. I'm gonna choke on this. Watch this.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to keep your fines and stuff, too, out of the way. I mean, with little ones, like coins and buttons and stuff like that. Stuff that they could swallow. He could swallow, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, don't tell Steph. I'm sure she's left now. I'll just, a lot of people clean their buttons and stuff in the mouth.
She said, "Did you break another toaster?"
I haven't tried it yet, but I did keep our son from choking to death. Dang it, she's still listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, but people, a lot of times they clean their coins and stuff by putting them in their mouth. He loves putting things in his mouth. I'll let him clean them and smack him in the back of the head, and he'll spit it out in my hand, and I'll put the next one in his mouth.
He doesn't stick things up his nose.
No, luckily we've not had anything in his nose. Yeah.
My brother did that. Yeah, that was bad. All right.
George said, let's call in, Steph. I think him and Steph are going to call in. Oh, no. It's pretty quiet out there. She might be able to get on the phone with the kids. I don't know. I would love for you guys to call in, or I can call you in if either one of you want to come in. Just don't embarrass me too much, baby. Don't beat up on me too bad. He can field clean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Wayne. He can field clean my fines.
Yeah,
I'll just stick a button in his mouth, let him swish it around, smack him in the back of the head till it pops out, shove another one in. Yeah, kind of like a little Pez dispenser, but opposite. Yeah. He'd love that job.
So have you ever had to clean a fine like that when you're out in the field and there's like, oh, dang.
No.
Yes.
Anybody who puts coins and stuff in their mouth that have dirt on them are deranged.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
What about spitting on your fine?
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that.
Yeah.
I've never done it too good.
Yeah, I have done the spit one. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. Now, my silver coins, I don't touch them. If I see silver, it goes in my pouch or wherever, and I don't mess with it. It's not worth taking a chance scratching it up. I don't care if it's covered in mud and I see a little bit of the rim. That's it. I'll take it home and I'll soak it in water and let that mud just come off on its own. I hate seeing people rub silver in their hands.
Yeah.
Scratch
it up.
Wayne said carry a spray bottle. I need to do that. I'll tell you something. As long as I've been detecting, I've never had a pouch. I just got my first pouch. I don't know. I just go really light.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm weird about things touching me. I'm weird about things around my waist. All that. Steph's not listening now because she never responded to calling in. I'm trying to think what else I can talk about now. What kind of things I can get away with.
When you're out in the field, for me now, I find a fair share of trash, too, that I carry out. So I have to have a bag. If I don't, and I've got pockets, it's full of, stuff. And then I want to protect anything that, that I don't want to get damaged. So what do you do?
This is what I do, okay? And I'm telling you, anybody listening, this is the best advice, metal detecting advice you'll probably ever get from me. 99% of the time, when I'm in Ohio, I don't do it here in Texas. It's too hot. I will wear bib overalls.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like a pouch.
And here's why.
Good idea.
Here's why. First off, I hate getting up and down and having to pull up my pants and showing my plumber's crack. I hate that. With bibs, you don't ever have to adjust. Your butt's not hanging out. You've got extra pockets. So, here's how I usually hunt. I've got my digger in my back pocket. I've got my pinpointer hanging off the belt hook that all bibs have. I'll have my phone in one of my upper. Usually, bibs will have 3 upper pockets. There's one behind and then 2 side by side. So I'll throw my phone in one and I just have extra pockets, and I'll usually throw a bottle of water in a pocket, one of my back pockets, and then like one pocket in the front is trash, and the other one's good stuff. I don't know. I'm really weird, but I do need I mean, I definitely I bought a pouch because I do need a pouch, and to carry more trash, because I do get to where like my pocket's so full of trash I got to go find trash or a trash can or go to back to my truck and unload. But George said I can say this without a doubt: we will never hunt together. Okay. Well, that's, if you're going to judge me for wearing bibs, I guess that's okay. I don't know. But yeah, I just don't. I like to go light. I've hunted with people that, I mean, I hunted with a guy years ago, kind of in a group setting, and he had like a fishing vest, and all the pockets were bulging. He had like a big, like two big pouches on either side. I don't want to carry that much stuff. I don't need that much stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't have a use for all that.
Well, if I've gotten to where now, if I know I'm going to be out where I can't get close to my car to switch my coils, or extra water, if I need a snack or something like that, if I'm going to be out in the woods or in the field most of the day, I've gotten where I carry a backpack. And this is just recent, because I've pretty much always used a pouch. I guess I got used to that from water detecting when I first started, metal detecting, because you had to have something in the water, strapped to you that had some sort of mesh, in it to be able to tuck away your finds and your trash. So I've gotten to where now, if I'm going to be out in a field where I can't go back, and if I want to change a coil, to those, maybe I hit an iron patch and I want to go back over it, and I've got the little Super Sniper coil with me, I'll stick it in the backpack with an extra bottle of water, etc., and then go out, with my backpack. And then, of course, I don't like that extra, weight. So I'll set it aside where, I can walk back to it within a fair distance, So, anyway, I've gotten to where, if I know I'm going to be out in the woods, and also, being out, in a lot of those areas where you have to carry back, because I've hunted a lot of farm type fields, etc., stuff like that.
Well, I am taking a backpack this year because I do plan on getting out and really far. In the past, I've just carried I'll carry my detectors. I've gotten pretty good at, what I'll do is I'll carry one out and just sit it down. Like if I want to take two, or if I want to take one with extra coils. I've gotten pretty good at carrying my shovel, two detectors, an extra coil, and still be able to swing on my way out there. I don't know. I'm just weird about how things pull at me, and I don't know. I'm really weird.
No, I get it. I detect with the guy that my hunting buddy that I detect a lot with, Scott, and he is an electrician, and he used to wear, all these little belts and stuff for years, and now it's given him kind of hip problems and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when he has his pouch, when he's out metal detecting, he can't wear it around his waist because it kind of gets weighted down. If you've ever, for me, I'll have to go empty my pouch a couple times, because if you're out detecting in an area where there's a bunch of bullets, lead bullets and stuff like that, that pouch gets heavy. So I usually transfer that stuff into, a backpack or carry and dump my finds in the car. I keep these little plastic trays in the back of my car where I can dump my trash and finds in there, or my heavy stuff, like if I've dug a few pieces of iron that I want to keep. Like I do like keeping the horseshoes. I know a lot of people don't, but I like keeping those. And not that I dig that many horseshoes, but I like them. It's a cool relic for me. I stick them, those are the kind of things, though, you don't want to carry around in your pouch for long, because then it weighs you down and weighs your back down and your waist. And if you're like him, your hips and stuff after a while. So he's gotten to where he'll just take his Garrett pouch and he straps it around his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got his pinpointer and digger and stuff in it. But I mean, whatever works for you. I think that those overalls are great, like you said. But for me, I don't look very good in overalls.
Everybody looks good in overalls. What are you talking about?
Well, the ones they make, I think I had one pair. I ended up giving it away, but I had one pair of overalls that I bought, and I thought, boy, this would be perfect for metal detecting. But I don't know. They don't make them very.
Don't wear bibs, because evidently George won't hunt with you if you wear bibs metal detecting. I don't know what.
He's just joking with you, I think. No,
I don't think so. He's being mean to me now. Since Matt's not here, since he can't be mean to Matt, he's being mean to me. Yeah.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, it was weird. It was almost a digital sound there for a sec.
Oh, I don't know. Our audio through my end sounded good. Yeah, no, I like bibs. I don't like having to pull up my pants all the time and all that when I'm.
No, I get it.
But
yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
I got some Carhartts. Well, that's when when I lived in Ohio, that's mostly when I metal detected. I'd metal detect in the summer, but so I mean, what better than some Carhartt overalls or bibs? And I don't do overalls. Like I've got like I got a tall upper body, and it's hard to even find bibs that fit me right. But overalls don't fit me right. Like they get real tight in the crotchety area and stuff, and cause me issues. And so, but I am able to find bibs that work good. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's good. But yeah, and what's cool about it is, like you said, you've got that little loop there that you can stick your pinpointer in.
Yeah.
So that works too. Because I've tried before, like if I didn't have if I had accidentally forgotten my pouch, maybe I took it out of the car to dump my finds or something and go through my finds, and then I forgot to put it back in. And for any reason that happened and I didn't have my little thing to be able to put my pinpointer in, I've tried putting it in my pocket, and then that's a disaster. I'll end up dropping it or something like that.
Right.
So.
Right. I don't know. Whatever fits you. Like Matt, me and Matt got together the one time, and we were maybe 50. We were under 100 yards from the car, and he grabbed a backpack, and I think he had 14 detectors, carrying out there, and a couple and I'm like, dude, the car's right there. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just playing. No, but he did have his backpack, and I'm just like, well, we're not that. I don't want to carry that stuff around. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like carrying the backpack. I only do it unless I really need to. If I know I'm going to be like when I'm going to pound the ground. It's 1,200 acres when we're doing the natural hunt part. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be out in the middle of some field, and I'm not going to be able to go run back to my car. Well, my car won't even be there, you know. And
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm going to need everything I need in my backpack. And, but, what I was saying a while ago that I forgot. You know how, like, occasionally when you're out and you do find a bottle or something like that that you want to keep, you know, I just stick it in the backpack, you know, and carry it back.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Well, that's one of the reasons.
But I haven't always done that.
Yeah, I bought a pouch because I do need a little more room, and then I'm sure if I get a chance to detect much, there's some sites that are way out, and I'll take a backpack with some food and some snack. You know, fat guys got to have snacks. A couple coils, and you know, another detector, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So I've got plenty.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I'm sure I'll do
Exactly.
that. But you know, as soon as I get on the site, I'll drop that bag. You know, it can sit on the ground.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
I'm not going to carry it around on my back like Matt does. I got more important things to do. But then, you know, if I find horseshoes and that kind of stuff, I can put it in there, and I'm not. Because a lot of times, what I end up doing, if I'm out far enough, I'll pile up the bigger stuff I want to carry out, and then I gotta carry it out. Where it'd be nice to have a backpack for that. I mean, I've got a couple backpacks I can use. I got some really nice ones. I have a Mind Lab backpack, and I'll tell you, that's one of the best backpacks I've ever seen. It's huge. You could put a couple detectors in it. You can strap detectors on the side, and then I got a Rudis backpack that's really cool. And then that big golf bag that you made fun of me for, I love that to be able to put all my stuff in. That's just to get somewhere.
I didn't make fun of you.
Yeah, you did.
No,
yes, you did.
Know, I think Keith did.
Keith definitely made fun of me for it. Yeah. And I did knock it over and knock all of his stuff off his bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little bit.
I think it's a pretty clever idea, actually. I really do.
I love it. Like, it'll fit like 3 detectors, and it's got pockets on the outside. It is awesome. It almost looks like a. I mean, it'd put you in mind of it. It's like what's the kind of material? I don't know.
Well, yeah, like my Garrett backpack that Garrett gave me has even these little things on the front of the backpack where I can stick my brushes, different brushes, like if I want to bring a wire brush and a soft bristle brush. And I can just stick that on the outside of the backpack too, which is handy. It's got these little bitty things on the front of it that are great for that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that bag also has straps to carry it like a backpack.
Oh, cool.
Are you jealous now?
The bag that,
Are you a little jealous now?
I'm jealous.
Right?
Yeah, I am. What kind of bag? Is it the Mind Lab one?
No, the Rudis one that I came with.
The Rudis.
That you saw
Oh.
that I had. Well, that's to me
cool.
like we're going to be traveling, and I want to be able to put all my stuff in that bag so it's not getting thrown around. Nothing gets thrown on it. Like if we stop to, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I like that bag. Even though you and Keith laughed hideously at me and poked fun at me, I still like it. I don't care what you guys think. I'll have to get a picture of it. I'll have to show everybody when I get it packed. If Steph lets me take it. Her and the baby are flying. Me, Monkey, and the puppy dogs are driving. So that's going to be a fun drive. At least I got my little co-pilot. Keep me awake. Nudge me when I start to doze off. I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I think we're all going to I think what I'm going to do so I can make it quick, especially since there's nobody else to drive and we don't want to spend the night anywhere, I think we're all going to wear diapers. I'm going to put diapers on the dogs. Me and Monkey's going to get diapered up, and we're just going to go. No pit stops, no nothing. buy some. I'm kidding. Everybody, I'm just kidding. Katie said, Gypsy, does the Garrett backpack have a place to put the Garrett detector in while you walk?
It doesn't. I mean, well, you could break it apart, of course, and have, part of it sticking out. But what Garrett does make, and they gave me two, is the Garrett soft carrying case for your detectors. And I have a black one and a camo one. And what's really neat about that is it has straps on it. So you can use it as a backpack, and you can fold it if you need to. So you could use it as a backpack. So that's kind of double there. You can take it out and just use it as a backpack after you take your detector out. But it's a longer carrying case that your whole detector I'm
going to drop a link. I don't know if this one's a backpack, but this is similar to, well, let me see. This one's real similar to my bag. Now, this isn't a backpack. But let me... I don't know. I'm looking. I found one, but I don't see it now on the website. But mine's almost looks like a golf bag. That's what I was trying to say. It's tall like a golf bag.
And that's kind of the way the Garrett carrying case is that I'm talking about.
Oh, is it similar?
Yeah, it's long. And they make one black and one camo, and it says Garrett metal detector. And it has outside patches where you can put your headphones in there if you want, or your extra coils. And then on the inside, you put your detector in. You don't have to break it apart. It just slides right in.
But you can only carry one detector with that, correct?
You could fit two in there.
I gotcha.
You could.
You might could, she said. You might could.
I haven't tried it.
I gotcha.
I haven't tried it, but I know that I've stuck extra coils in mine before.
There are backpacks that are designed for metal detectors to be, like my Mind Lab bag has straps on the side to like break it down, that are made just for the shaft, to hold a shaft and then put your upper shaft and head unit in the bag. I'm trying to look them
Wayne
up now.
says you can fit two.
Yeah, I can easily fit 3 in coils in my bag, and there's pouches on the outside. Here's my Mind Lab bag.
That's weird. You keep cutting out.
Huh. I don't know what's going on.
It's sounding all warbly. I don't know. It'll go in and out.
Huh.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I don't know. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I
don't know. Anyway, but yeah.
Are we having issues tonight now?
Guess we really got off subject. I don't know. It's weird. It just
it's getting a little weird on mine.
It happened earlier,
too.
But now it's getting. I
don't know. I'm getting ready to post. Are you there, Gypsy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
It might be my internet. I'm trying to pull up the chat room separate from where I'm usually at. No, there it went. Okay. It's probably my computer. My computer's like on its last leg, I think, already.
Oh, no.
Oh, what the heck? Why won't it let me do this? Oh, what a pain in the rear. I'm trying to post a picture of my Mind Lab bag. That's one of the coolest bags I've ever, or backpacks I've ever had. I can't find the rudest one. Oh my goodness. Cool. So it's on eBay. I click on eBay.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
You cut out again.
Okay, hold on. Let me get out.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna post stuff. We'll see. Jeff said I sound good to him, but
yeah.
If you do research,
maybe it's on my end. It's
if
weird.
if you look up the MindLab backpack, I'm not saying get it, but look at that style. It's really long, so you can fit detectors in it and stuff. And I really like that backpack style. I like the Rudis a lot. Of course, you're not going to get that here in the United States. I also have bags for my coils. That are really cool. Mm-hmm. I'd never seen those before, but that's really cool. So I can take extra coils and put them in their own little bag.
Who makes those?
Ruda sent them to me. Yeah.
Cool.
They say you're fading in and out. I sound
right
good.
Then when you said Rudis,
mm-hmm.
Like just then when you said root, I can make out that you said Rudis, but it was like Rudis. It was real digital sounding.
Do you want me to hang up and do you want me to hang up and call you on the other? You're on just directly on your phone.
No, I mean I'll just let you know when I'm having issues. So, but how are we doing on time? 8:22.
You want to get off? You want to call the show since we're having issues? Yep. There you go, Bill.
Yeah, I don't care.
Amanda texted me she's not going to be able to make it tonight. Totally understand. She's all stressed about not making the show. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It happens. This is things happen. Mm-hmm. I miss being on the show with Gypsy. It's nice to do this from time to time.
I miss you too, Mike.
Oh, that's so sweet. Liar. Liar.
I do. I like talking to you.
Oh, good.
I do.
Did we even get to Buckles? Do we want to get on to Buckles a little bit and then we'll wrap it up?
It's up to you if you want to get on to Buckles or you want to save it for another time. I mean, we start talking about bags and
we kind of got way off the subject.
But we might have to change the title from buttons to bags
to Mike Rambling. To Mike Rambling. Jeez. Yeah, I'm good at that.
But we can talk a little bit about Buckles if you want.
It's up to you totally. How's the audio on your end?
It's better. I mean, right now it's doing good.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's go ahead and finish it up.
If I start having issues, okay. So, buckles, for me, I find horse tack buckles all the time. That's probably the most common. I find at a lot of the older home sites because, that's what their main transportation was horse and buggies. So I find a lot of horse tack buckles. I've only found one military buckle. Lots of civilian type belt buckles. Only one shoe buckle. And never really a knee buckle. I think I found kind of the innards of what I think might be a knee buckle, but never the outside of a knee buckle. Find a lot of sash buckles. I think because they continued on here, because of what we were talking about earlier with the early 1900s, a lot of the ladies' fashion of that time were they wore the sash buckles. So I find a lot of real pretty, ornate sash buckles. And I love finding the sash buckles because some of them are just really fancy. Some of them have stones in it, that type of thing. I've never found a silver one. I would love to find a solid silver sash buckle.
I don't think I've ever found silver buckle of any kind.
I've only found one solid, it says sterling, buckle, and it was in one of my videos not all that long ago. I think I might have even sent you a photo of it. And that's when I was in East Texas hunting with my buddy Jay Bird is what we call him, his nickname. But I found one of those that has the monogram-like thing on the front, probably from the 30s, 40s era. That is, and I think it has the maker, the brand or whatever, maker's mark stamp on there. And I'd looked it up. I can't remember, but it's all in my video. But yeah, that was the only one. It still even had a little bit of the leather strap through there. That's the only silver buckle I've ever found. But I don't know if you've ever looked up when I was researching some of the sash buckles that I found. I found some sash buckles that were sterling from, the late 1800s, early 1900s that were on eBay that, were going for good money. I'm like, holy cow. I would love to find one of those. Not that I would sell it, but that would be neat to find.
Yeah, for sure. Mike Fusion said, I find forking saddle rivets, which I don't know what that is, but I do find a lot of rivets in the fields. Round tack rings all the time. Yeah, not many buckles. I do find a lot of buckles that I assume are for horse tack, but yeah.
Yeah, I find anything from like the iron debuckles and the rectangle iron. That I think a lot of that is horse tack, but then I find a lot of the brass ones that I think are horse tack as well. A lot of in those brass ones, boy, they sound sweet, man.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I think I got something really good here, and then you dig it up. It's just it can be a little disappointing, but it's still a cool find. But I want to be able to, when I go to, hopefully to, New England, I really want to find some old shoe buckles or knee buckles. That would be totally cool.
I got a few, but not a lot. I don't think that was kind of pretty much after, well, no, there's definitely, I've got a few, but not a bunch.
Yeah. So what about military buckles? Have you ever found anything military buckle-wise?
No, I haven't.
I've only found the one, the Eagle Officer sword belt plate. That's the only kind. Now I did find, and it is horse tack. The heart, it has the heart on it. And some people say it was Civil War. Some people say it was pre-Civil War. I'll send you a photo of it. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen the ones with the heart on it? It's solid.
Yeah. Those are cool.
Yeah,
I've never found one.
One of those. And it was here in Texas. I was showing a guy. I was letting him use my Ace 200 that's a long time ago. It's been about 7-8 years maybe. And we had found this place near a old railroad, and we were just exploring, and we brought, of course, I let him use mine, and he was trying out detectors, and we were exploring by this railroad, and we came up at the edge of this fence, and I started finding, the old, glass, the old blue glass with the old, my favorite is the purple glass that's turned, colors, and some of the old cork tops. And I was like, oh, this is a good area. Let's just hit this real hard. And I found that buckle there. I've been wanting to go back. It's not far from here, and I never have. Last time I drove by there, Well, that's the thing. I was going to go back the last time I was in that area, and I was like, oh, I need a place to hunt. And I was like, let me go back where I found that buckle. And it was so grown up. I was like, man, and I didn't bring my machete, and it's kind of near where I'd have to park and walk. I can see me parking there and getting out in public, and they're pulling out a machete. So that would be bad.
Yeah.
To get through there. But anyway. Yeah, I really want to go back there because I did find some other things there as well, but that was one of my favorite finds there. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. What kind of site was it?
It was near a railroad, and I guarantee you there was just an old house near there, but I couldn't cross the fence because that would have been somebody's property.
Oh,
so
I gotcha.
I was hunting near the fence line where I was finding part of this glass, so, I don't know. I'm sure there's an old house somewhere near there. Yeah, I need to find out who the owner is. Now I've got some connections in that area, so I just need to do that.
Oh, man, I'm getting tired.
Getting you tired? Well, it's 8:32. I guess we could call it quits.
Tuesday nights we've been having Dorian tell treasure stories. I think we should end this night by you telling a good bedtime story. Put me to sleep. I'm kidding. A good bedtime metal detecting story. How great would that be?
You'll be like me. You'll be dreaming of buttons and buckles and something like that.
Right.
Well, with you, it'd be something different, but I'm not going to stop it right there.
Yeah. Okay, we'll stop there. There she's now. It's Gypsy's going bad. I'm thinking like bedtime story, like we read the kids or something, and Gypsy, you're just as bad as me. You're just more. You just don't let it out of the bag as much as me. That's all. Katie said, "Yay, story time." I don't think you want a story from Gypsy. I think.
From.
Let me go ahead and get ready to hit the explicit button.
He's so bad.
The story. I don't know. Do you ever have dreams? Dreams of metal detecting?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the other night when she sent me those photos of all those buttons and stuff that she found in that button dump that we're going to go hit, man, I was like dreaming about buttons.
Were you really? That's wild. I've had some really crazy dreams. Yeah. I was in a field with my brother in a dream once, and we just kept finding gold coins everywhere, like piles of gold coins.
Oh, my gosh.
I woke up and I was like, oh, that was a good dream. That was a good dream.
Now, if it was a premonition, if you knew you frequently had premonition dreams, and then you go dreaming about gold coins.
You know what was weird about it, and I didn't understand, but there were telephones in this. I had never seen this field in my life, but it was, like 50 yards from the road, there were telephones. Like, it was really, really detailed. And I woke up and I thought, wow, that's really weird. Like, why were there telephone poles? And I don't know.
Maybe when you go to Ohio, you need to kind of keep your eyes peeled for some telephone poles, because you just never know.
Right? That was really weird.
It could have been a premonition.
Yeah, it was.
It could have been
something. I'll never find it.
You never know.
I don't have that kind of luck. I'll go and I'll get permission for the site that looks like it, and it'll be full of Vienna sausage cans. I actually did that once. Had permission at a site, and the cabin was ancient and had been there. It was still standing, and then they tore it down, and a friend of mine got permission, and we dug. It was pretty close to the road, and I bet I went back to my vehicle 552 times unloading Vienna sausage can lids and cans. But I don't remember now what came out of there, but once we got loads, like I was ready to give up. I was getting pretty done with it, and I think he found like he found a $50. I don't remember if it was seeded or what it was or barber, but it was. I think it was older. I think it was a seeded. And then we started getting some large scents and stuff. Once we got all them sausage cans, started getting those cleared out of there, we started finding stuff. So sometimes it's best to stick around and put a little work into it. Because that site, although I can't recall what all we found, boy, did it produce. But I bet the first 3-4 hours was digging Vienna sausage cans. Yeah.
Mm.
And that's it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
taking out the trash. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to do it to get down to the good stuff.
Right.
For sure.
Katie said, I'm going to write in parentheses, a G-rated metal detecting bedtime story. New goal. Yeah. Yeah, I love when I have metal detecting dreams.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Well,
let's wrap it up.
I
am tired. I'm wore out.
It was fun.
Yeah, I had fun too. It was nice, even though you're like, we're going to talk about buttons and we're going to talk about buckles, and Mike talks about backpacks and Ohio and everything else. So it happens.
Indeed. And little kid demons, little munchkins.
I want to get my tongue lashing over with, so I'm ready to get off here and go talk to Steph.
You going to the doghouse? She's
how
going to
much
put you on your leash tonight.
I'll tell you something really funny real quick. Monkey loves to get me in trouble. And she will, like, there's certain things her mom won't let her eat at certain times and stuff. And here's a perfect example. You and I think, were on the phone this morning when this happened. She wanted something for breakfast. Well, she's getting to the age she wants to get it herself, and that's good. Let her be independent. But if she needs me or wants me to make something, I'll make it, of course. And she couldn't find anything she wanted, and she wanted cookies for breakfast. And I'm like, no, baby, you can't have cookies. But it ended up I let her have 2 cookies for breakfast, and I guarantee, and I'll say, now don't tell Mom I let you eat 2 cookies for breakfast.
And she tells.
And what she does, she'll go, Mom, Michael let me eat cookies for breakfast. Is he in big trouble? And like we get a kick, like she does it for fun. I mean, she's not being mean or anything.
Right,
she's just, is he in big trouble? Is Michael in big trouble? So she loves that. And, yeah, so like that's what's in my head right now. Like, am I in big trouble? Am I in big trouble?
You may be.
Maybe, yeah. It happens. All right, let's wrap this up. And thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, I'm sorry you didn't get Amanda and Gypsy, but at least you got Gypsy, right? I mean, that's a good thing. And Amanda, I'm sure will be back next week. She just had some stuff going on. She's been really busy, and yeah, but she'll be back next week. We're going to give her a break this week. She needed it, I think. She's having a rough time. But nothing bad. Nothing bad. All right, so good night, everybody.
Good night, all.